Hi, so now we're going to talk about how to take your DXF file and turn it into a file that the laser can understand. So you're going to open up this software here, which is called LaserWorks. Make sure you open up version 5 and not version 8. When you open it, it will look like this. So the first thing you want to do is to import your file. So if I go into here and go import, and I'm looking for this Christmas decoration, fantail. Now when I open it up, the first thing I usually do, just because that's how I like it, is I usually just click the magnifying glass just so I can kind of see the whole picture. And then it pays to go back to this arrow here, just so that's your arrow for moving things around. What you'll notice is that all the lines on this at the moment are black. And over here it tells me that the laser cutter is going to cut all the lines that are black. So if this was to go through the laser cutter, it would obviously cut out the fantail, it would cut out the circle, and it would cut out the larger circle as well. So this would be a fantail Christmas decoration that had a big hole in it. Of course, the benefit of that when it cuts it out is that you actually get a little plastic fantail as well. But for example, you might decide that you don't want that cut out as a hole. You might want to etch it. So what the laser needs to know is that that's what you want to do. So what you need to do is to select the part that you want to be etched, and you need to make it a different colour. So for the purposes of today, we're going to make it blue. And if you go over here on this part of the screen, you'll see now that this is going to be scanning. We've got the computer set up for the types of speeds and scans that you'll need for acrylic. If you want to do something different, let us know and we'll come and change those settings. But if you leave those settings to us, because it's kind of to do with where the laser cut is at. So this now is a round circle which will be cut out, and there'll be a smaller circle on top, and then this pattern here will be etched onto the design. So we're not quite finished yet. Next, what you need to do is to select the whole object. When you select it, up here, you're going to see the size of it. So at the moment, this one is 513.78 millimeters tall, and the width is 486 millimeters. So a little bit bigger than probably what you want. So I'm just going to click on the padlock. By clicking on the padlock, it means that if I change one of these numbers, then the other number will change in proportion to it. So I'm thinking for a Christmas decoration, I might make this one about 80 mils. And there you go, it's shrunk down. This is obviously when the person made this file, it's not a true circle. If you wanted to make it a true circle, you could unlock it and you could change that one to 80, and that's your opportunity, and then it turns it into a circle. It makes it look quite small on your screen, so you may wish to press the plus at the top of the screen just to zoom in on your picture. This is the last chance to make any changes you want. You can click on the arrow, you can click on the bird, and where the pink crosses, that's where you can hover over and drag and move things around if you want it somewhere different. One last thing to check is the size of our circle. You'll see at the moment this circle here is 5 millimeters by 4 millimeters. Usually about a 3 millimeter hole is okay. So I've made that 3. Now in the case of this Christmas decoration, now that's if you want a key ring to go through it. If you wanted it to be a ribbon or something like that, you might want to make it 5 or 6 mils. For something like this, it doesn't really matter whether the hole's where it is, but for jewellery, you're probably going to want to move it up reasonably close to the top so that there's not too much of a gap, and that the piece of jewellery, the clip or whatever that you're going to add to the jewellery, can actually fit through there. And that's nearly your project finished. One more step to do is to select your picture in the middle. If you've etched it, go up to Edit and choose Group. And now what you're going to do is going to go Edit and Set Cut Property. Now what this tells us, it tells the laser what order to cut in. Now you can see here that at the moment it's going to cut out our larger circle first, and we don't want that for obvious reasons. So what we're going to say is that we want it to cut this one first, and you can see it's highlighted the small dot. So I'm just going to move that one across. Element 3 is the bird itself. Now if we hadn't grouped that, that would have shown up as about 100 elements, so that's why we grouped it. I'm going to move the bird across, and then the last thing we want it to cut is the circle around the outside. And we click OK. Now, believe it or not, your file is actually now ready to cut. To save your file, you don't go into Save here. You instead go Save to U file. You find the USB file, that I currently don't have one here, but you find the USB file and just click, give it a name, click Save, and then take it over to the laser cutter for cutting. Feel free to have it checked before you take it across. In fact, it's probably a good idea. Just to check that all the steps are done. They're easy once you know, but when you're learning it can be a bit overwhelming. And there you go. I hope it's an awesome cut.